Yeah. Dear friends of Europe Goes Local, I think I can all name you in that way. Wherever you come from very far, I met some people from Guyana earlier, but also very locally here from Tromsø. Really welcome to Tromsø on behalf of the steering group of EGL. Thank you for participating in this 8th conference, because it's already the 8th one. And many thanks to SIF and our team that has organized it here and made it really feel welcome. I don't know how you did it, Sif, but the summer is unbelievable. It could not be more pleasant. And when flying here, I was really impressed by the beauty this part of the world offers. But it also made me realize that the location is very suited for this conference on local youth work and participation in remote regions. I mean, I live in a small town in Flanders where very often people say, it's not that remote. But in reality, I recognize myself a lot in what happens in these areas where, you have to travel quite far to go to university. If you live not in Tromsø, because it has a university. Or if there is no bus after 6 o'clock in the evening, if you want to go to the cinema, because there is no local cinema. So I share some of the challenges in these remote regions. But also big thank you to the Norwegian National Agency for Erasmus+, Camilla and Gullisin, and the team for supporting and co-organizing this event from their home base in Oslo, but it's quite far. Europe Goes Local, as a platform for municipal level youth work stakeholders, was created 10 years ago by a group of only 19 national agencies with the intention to support municipalities in developing a comprehensive, knowledge-based youth work policy and provided a channel for municipalities to make their voices heard in European policy. And did it come true? Yes, I think it has. Do we still have a lot of work to go ahead? Yes, please continue the work. But really, it has grown spanning across the EU and the neighboring countries, something that we are very proud of and cherish. Because 10 years ago, the circumstances were very different. Local youth work, or municipal youth work, was not on the agenda in every country, let alone on the European level. And as Europe Goes Local started as a European network project with a mission to strengthen that youth work where it matters the most at the local level, it connected municipalities, youth workers and policymakers across Europe. And the project turned into a real-world practice, raising equality, visibility and recognition of local youth work. Through peer learning, capacity building and cross-border cooperation, the Europe Goes Local framework has empowered local actors to innovate, but also to professionalize youth work. And it is embedded in a strong European dimension in everyday practice. By actively contributing to the European youth work agenda and the bond process that is linked to it, our network bridges local realities with European strategies, ensuring that youth work is valued as a key pillar for inclusive, resilient, but especially youth-friendly communities across Europe. And we are very grateful for this decade of collaboration, learning, and impact. Today, after 10 years, and together with 35 member countries and a large network of youth work stakeholders, we are so happy to be here. With the support of you as a real community of practice and many partners in the field on the European and the national level. And I can only mention a few like the European Youth Forum, DIPAL, KEX, the Congress on Local and Regional Authorities of the Council of Europe, very different ministries, but of all, people that believe in the power of local youth work and policy. A real impact was made. You're all familiar with the charter that was developed, but also the 4th European Youth Work Conference in 2024 under the Belgian presidency that inspired the EU resolution Youth Work Policy in an Empowering Europe. This resolution asked Member States and the Commission to develop or further support a comprehensive youth work policy. It also puts a strong emphasis on the local level and formulates an appeal for municipalities. It states really that by investing in a robust and long-term local youth work policy based on dialogue and participation, local governments should create concrete conditions for the optimal development of local youth work. And this is something that we live every day in practice together with you. Another milestone was the fourth European Youth Work Convention in Malta last May. And again, in there, youth work and local youth work took center stage. It confirmed that quality youth work can make a unique and vital contribution to young people's lives. And the results from the last decade of Europe Goes Local and its impact on the local level found its way into the workshops, but even more importantly, into the follow-up. Thank you for that. But now we are here, and 26 and 27 are very important years on the European level. As Camilla already mentioned, Erasmus+, the key EU funding program for youth and youth work, is being discussed and adopted by the Council and the Parliament, hopefully next year. And discussions around the place of youth work, and especially youth participation, as well as the budget, are going on. And you as experts on local youth work and youth policy are very well placed, a lot better even than we as national agencies, to demonstrate the impact of Erasmus+ and the European Solidarity Corps within the EU, but also in the neighboring countries. And from the local level, you can all really testify why local participation matters. So I can only call upon your expertise to share what these programs mean for you and your local young people, as now is the time to showcase results and impact. Our focus here within this group on the future programs assures that the European dimension remains an integral part of local youth work, and our policy-oriented discussions keep Europe Goes Local embedded in European political processes like the youth agenda. I invite you to explore municipalities' challenges and needs in accessing and using the youth programs and to identify potential solutions together. Like Camilla also mentioned, you are involved very often already in youth exchanges, in discovery youth inclusion actions, but sometimes youth work activities that are organized by municipal level actors are missing, also in Flanders, but also in the rest of Europe. So I challenge you to look at the possibilities and really make use of them. Because the Erasmus Plus is really one of the key tools for the European Youth Strategy, next to, as well, for example, the Youth Dialogue. But it's not only Erasmus Plus that is in a very important phase. It's also the EU Youth Strategy that we are preparing for the period 28-34. First reflections were already made last year with more than 100 participants at a similar event in Prague. This year, this conference will take it forward. We will hear from the European Commission on their vision, but more importantly, this conference will work towards a position paper that contributes directly to the new EU Youth Strategy. With the European Youth Event in 26, Europe Goes Local as a platform for municipal level youth work stakeholders provides again a challenge for municipalities to make their voices heard in the European policy discussions. The current strategy is widely known by its three pillars: connect, engage, empower. And thank you for that, but also for the youth calls. But more importantly, at the moment, rumor has it that youth work will be for the first time fully included in the strategy. A moment, a community of practice, and we, as those involved in youth work and youth policy, have been working for years to come. So fingers crossed, but as things are never sure, this is again a warm call to action. The public consultation on the strategy is open at the moment, and all EU citizens can contribute. This conference will, as a whole, but next to organizations and structures, please do so as individuals too, because strength is in quality, but also in numbers. and our input really matters. These inputs we will be working on in the following days, really as a community of practice. So good luck to all of us with this work. This event will focus also on advancing local youth work policy developments and facilitate knowledge building and exchange between municipalities, local and European stakeholders, and especially those from remote territories. This focus is more important than ever. Young people growing up far from capitals and metropolitan centres deserve the same quality of youth work as anyone else. And it's here in Tromsø that we affirm that commitment, with examples coming from the French overseas territories, the Azores, rural youth work from Slovakia, and youth work in the uppermost part of Europe. We have much to learn from each other. As the vision of Europe Goes Local remains strong, all young people should have access to youth work provisions everywhere, at local level in Europe, based on a common ground and the same guiding principles as they are laid down in the European Charter on Local Youth Work. These principles should be supported by youth work policies and strategies embedded in the different local realities. For the municipalities gathered here today, this vision is not an abstract aspiration. It's your daily work of your teams, your volunteers, your communities. Our conference offers space for exchange, mutual learning and support on a European scale, and contributes actively to the creation of a community of practice. We bring together and cooperate with all relevant stakeholders, from policymakers to civil society actors. And we are very grateful that Claudius, representing the German National Agency, took up last year the role of the chair of the advisory board. I think we have a strong chair that is acting really well and will continue working for the future. But we also continue to work together with our European partners and are thankful to the two institutions, the European Commission and the Council of Europe, that contribute and listen to the EGL community to improve their European policies and practice and to strengthen local policy. Next to the institutions, the role of national agencies and Salto resource centres are key intermediate bodies that remain central to the strength of Europe Goes Local. So are, as I said earlier, the European organizations, Youth Forum, DIPOL, that put European work and youth democratic participation in their focus. So thank you very much for that. And with these thanking words to all of you, I would close my opening remarks, wishing you all a rich, inspiring and productive conference. May the conversations, debates and connections made here in Tromsø find their way into policies and practices that shape the life of young people across Europe. Make use of the official moment, but even more, make use of your coffee breaks, your walk together, your midnight sunbathing, because I'm planning to do that, because that is possible here. And I would like now to give the floor to our wonderful facilitators, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Inge.